everybody, and welcome to Muddy River Mornings. I'm Bob Goff.
And I'm Brittany Bull.
And happy pre-Mother's Day.
What a great weekend it is.
Oh, look at you.
I like it personally, obviously, because I'm a mom, and I love celebrating my own mom. And in doing that, a good idea to celebrate your mom would be ordering from Crazy Cakes.
That looks really good. What is that?
That is a 12-pack of their mini cupcakes, and it's still not too late to order. You can order them while supplies last. They're open on Saturdays from 8 to 2, and there is also still time to get your graduation cakes in if you're thinking about getting those in. They still have time for those. Also, wedding season is upon us, so make sure to get your wedding cakes in as well. So yeah, I think these are something that I'm going to add to my Mother's Day want list. The list just keeps on growing.
I'll say, how long is that list?
Massages, mimosas, and now some
Cupcakes.
Wedding cake cupcakes from Crazy Cakes.
And of course, they are open on Friday until 2 o'clock, and then, as Brittany said, also Saturday as well. Lots of busy stuff going on in the news today. We had first mayoral meetings on both sides of the river, and Quincy, it was... Linda Moore officially became her first meeting as mayor.
Yes, and I think the note in that meeting, it was quite interesting, was make sure, first of all, to read the story. So this is just, a review because the story has all the details. But one big thing in there was 2 lone no votes for different things that they were voting on. One being the appointment of Dan Brink to his Director of Operations job. That lone no vote stood there because of, I guess, political party affiliation.
Yeah.
Again, read the story for the details. The other lone no vote was electrical aggregation and whether or not we should keep it on there. That lone no vote will be our guest on Club Muddy in the near future. I'm looking forward to that one.
That's Jake Reed. So I went and watched Daryl McCoy get sworn in as Hannibal's new mayor. And he began his tenure by saying he wasn't going to vote on things, that he was going to let the aldermen make the decisions, deal with their constituents, and he was going to preside over meetings and, a little bit of change and not so much of an activist mayor, apparently.
Is that new for them to not vote on things?
I think it's just dependent on each mayor's style.
Okay.
Some have been more aggressive. Some have been less aggressive. So apparently Mr. McCoy has decided to say, hey, I'm going to just preside over meetings and kind of do what I can. I'm sure he'll have certain issues where he will talk to aldermen and express how he would like them to vote on things. But for the most part, he's going to let them decide.
Sounds pretty cool.
And also, we have a story today on the website. You know, Quincy has a sister city in Germany, Hereford, and we always get foreign exchange students every couple of years. I think we do it every other year. So, and our intern Annie C. Riley had a chance to visit with them.
All right. Well, I'll definitely have to check that out. Again, that's on our news site today.
Yes, and I think that's neat because she's obviously she's just straight out of college, and she graduated from Stanford University, and so she gets to deal with some people who are a little closer to her own age, and again from another country, and I think it's really great for her to see how Quincy has this interaction with its sister city. So
I look forward to it too because she also asks all the right questions.
Yeah, she does a really nice job for us right now. So, well, we are going to take a break. Remember that Muddy River Mornings is driven by Hess Auto Agency, and we will hear from them. We'll also hear from our friend Andrew Wellman, what is cooking over at Muddy River in Grayfield. We'll be right back.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
Hello, I am Dr. Susan Meidel, board-certified dermatologist at Blessing Health Hannibal. Many of us try to reduce our risk for cancer. We eat healthy, don't smoke, limit our alcohol consumption and exercise, But sometimes when winter ends and warm weather returns, we forget an important part of our cancer prevention plan: protection from the sun. The sun, along with tanning beds, give off ultraviolet or UV radiation that cause damage that can lead to skin cancer. Skin cancer is the most common type of cancer. See the tips on your screen to reduce your risk of skin cancer this summer, as well as year-round. Also, take charge of your skin. Be on the lookout for new or changing moles or other unusual skin spots. If you find them, see a healthcare provider as soon as you can. Skin cancer is most successfully treated when found early. Please be safe in the sun.
Women are exceptional. In the workplace, in the home, in the community, we fill so many roles vital not only to our success, but also the success of those around us. We deserve health care that is as exceptional as we are. Blessing Health meets the varied needs of every woman, from OBGYN care and breast health to pediatrics for those of us who have little ones in our life. Blessing Health, with you every step of the way.
Muddy River Engraving has been fantastic to work with, especially when I need something last minute, quickly. Andrew has just been fantastic to get me everything I need in a very quick, effective manner.
We work in a fast-paced industry, so for us, the fact that he personally delivers to it, that's one of the best things, and always comes through ahead of schedule.
What do I love about Muddy River Engraving? I love that Andrew supports the businesses that work with him. We'll see him in here almost every week, and that's nice that two people are helping each other out, pushing each other's product.
All right, welcome back. We have another new feature that's going to be debuting a little bit this month, and we just want to say thank you to our veterans.
Yes, like he said, we are going to have a new segment. It's going to be on Muddy River TV, and it's called Thank You for Your Service. With our friends over at 8 Open, they're providing our heroes some sandwiches, and then our heroes are providing you with their stories and experiences. So take a look out for that. That will be out the last week of this month.
Yeah, and again, we want to thank our friends at 8 Open and also Paul Havermehl with the Veterans Assistance Commission for helping us set all this stuff up, so we can give you a little bit of the personality on our veterans who've helped us out. So we had Frankie Say when we talk about our shows this week, and he had some guy on as a guest. I don't know.
Some guy. I think I know him. It is my husband, Mike Scholl. They were on in this Frankie Say. Well, I think in any Frankie Say, it's probably our one podcast where when Frankie takes on a guest is when they talk about world relations. I don't think like I said, we really drive home the fact that we're local. So if you are wanting some world relations, this podcast in particular is a great one to tune into.
Yeah, they talk a lot about the situation with, and they also some media stuff too, with the siloing of information. We also had a guest on Daily Muddy who talked a little bit about that, and we also talk about a little bit that on Club Muddy as well. And our Club Muddy guests this week are some friends of ours as well.
They are our friends over at the patio, Ryan Tanner and Jay Crottinger. They stop in and talk to Ashley and myself about different announcements in their life in New York and some more announcements in their life here in Quincy.
And I've got Business Spotlight. Ron Kinshirf talks to folks at Quincy Medical Group about Mental Health Awareness Month. And I think the cool thing here is that we focus on how we can look at grade school kids. And because those mental health issues can really be a problem, and if the earlier you catch them, it's usually a better way to go with that. And then, of course, I hang out with Steve Inger, and we talk a little bit about Quincy Raceways. Week 3 coming up. They've had packed houses, and I believe Steve said his track burger count, I believe he said it's at 6 right now total for the season. That's 3 each week. He said there will be a point this year where he will eat up to 6 track burgers in one night. We're keeping a tally this year. Yep.
I'm speechless. Speaking of sports, let's check out sports with Shane Holsey, brought to you by Neiman's.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. Muddy River sports writer Shane Holsey with you once again, and it's the second Friday in May. Cannot believe we're already saying that. I know I said that last week about the first Friday in May, but gosh, the spring sports season has just flown by. This weather this week has just been absolutely spectacular. Hope you've been able to get out and enjoy it, and as have we here at Muddy River Sports. And plenty more to get to before we wrap up spring sports postseason play right on the horizon, but still a little bit more before we get there. QHS QND girls soccer squaring off on the soccer pitch once again. You can check out a story from Don Krim tomorrow morning, as well as a photo gallery from yours truly. Looking forward to that one. Should be fun over at Advanced Physical Therapy Field, and plenty of baseball and softball and all to go around. Teams making their late season pushes to get some momentum here as we get into postseason play. And QU baseball in the GLVC tournament. Shuck is back and helping us out a little bit as much as he can. He's covering the QU baseball team for us as they try to make a push for the spot in the regional, and they're off to a good start in the GLVC tournament. See if they can keep it rolling. And plenty more action around the landscape as well. Prep baseball, prep softball, getting into postseason for those. Tennis, track, all the wonderful things going on around the landscape. So make sure you check us out on muddyriversports.com and Facebook and YouTube as well. And if you haven't caught my Shane in the Fast Lane on Shuck's Truck, I think that's what we're calling it, with Quincy High boys tennis coach Mike Terry, make sure you check that out. If you have any ideas or anyone you'd like us to talk to, make sure you shoot us an email and reach out to us at sports@muddyrivernews.com. If you have any story ideas or interviews or anything, any suggestions you'd like to send our way, we greatly appreciate it. We thank you for keeping up with us and reading us and watching us and following along with us through the spring sports season. We'll talk to you next week. Muddy River sports writer Shane Holsey. Have a great weekend.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
Thanks, Shaney Waney. All right, Bob, how's the weather going to be on my glorious Mother's Day weekend?
Well, according to meteorologist Brent Clare and his sidekick Nathaniel Jones, we're probably going to have the last vestiges of nice weather before we have a rainy rest of May.
Interesting. I was just thinking as I was watering my garden that the April showers didn't really bring the May flowers. So
Not
it
quite
sounds
yet.
like we're kind of late.
But the Mayflowers brought the pilgrims, never forget that. So here's Brent and Nathaniel with How's the Weather Up There from Farm and Ranch.
So, Brent, as a meteorologist, you'll appreciate this.
Absolutely.
But why was the cold front so popular?
Why was it cool? It's could be many reasons, but there's.
Because it's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Short and simple. Hi, I'm tacoologist Nathaniel Jones. This is meteorologist Brent Clare.
A few days late.
True, Taco Tuesday. This is How's the Weather Up There with your weekend forecast. It's really daily impacts to your life. So we got past Dogwood, which was beautiful on Saturday.
Very nice
But
day.
we got a few more weekend events because it's Mother's Day weekend.
Mother's Day weekend,
so
yes.
Are we going to be lucky enough? Get a gift from Mother Nature for Mother's Day?
Absolutely. I tell you what, forecast for the next 5 to 7 days is looking really good. Chance of showers maybe late Monday, but other than that, between today, we'll talk a little bit in a second here, but after we get through today, Friday through Sunday looks really, really good, and temperatures warming up into the 70s nicely, and actually a nice cool north wind to kind of break the temperature there, so it's actually going to be a really, really nice weekend. So today, though, it's kind of funny, we have a low pressure system that's just kind of sitting around down south, and it's circulating. And you notice how this, if you are watching the clouds, how they're kind of coming from in the east and going around. That's the circulation of the low pressure system. And that's actually why we're actually getting northeasterly winds too. So it's a little cooler this morning. And but we expect that eventually to move on to the east. And then as that happens, we'll see the skies clear. Probably see still the 40s for overnight lows for the next few nights, but then we'll be moving into the 50s as we move into the weekend, and 70s, lower to mid 70s for today and tomorrow, and then moving into closer to 80 as we get into the first next week. Now, we had talked about this, the first 90-degree temperature, and I tell you what, next week we have at least one high, potentially at 87, I think.
Yeah.
Tuesday or Wednesday, I can't remember which. So we're going to get close to that 90-degree temperature. So
Do you know what the average is for around the Quincy area, the first 90-degree day?
Oh, you tell me.
On stats, I love my stats.
Yes, you do.
May 17th is around the first typical day of the first 90-degree temperature.
Well, that's going to be pretty darn close.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun to watch that, see how that happens. So, but with all that said, I think the window is going to start closing for farm progress the end of next week, and we're going to move into a very active last 2 weeks of May, expected, right? So I think we're going to get some storm systems that start moving through, and they're going to be active and potentially severe. So basically, it was that pattern I was talking about. How first 2 weeks of May were going to be nice, and then we're going to probably end up on a bang. So so we'll have to see how that turns out. But for those of you, those of us in the farming industry, we got about a week left, and then. Yeah, we better think of plan B or C or D or
start praying.
H. So, but anyway. So yeah, but I tell you what, so I was planting some beans yesterday. The soil, the top is dry, but you get down below and it's still pretty wet. You can see how the implements were just kind of sinking in on the tires, but the technology today, how it just kind of floats over it now, it's pretty neat. But there were a few spots where I was kind of worried if I was going to get out or not. So there's one really bad spot at the beginning of the field, and I had no intention of going there, but it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, I don't need to be stuck again. That's the worst. I mean, one of the worst feelings for a farmer is when you get stuck. I don't know why it is, but you just feel helpless. And of course, obviously having to ask for help.
Yeah, that's the major one.
But it's just so weird. It's just like, anything else I can fix, but when you get stuck, it's like you're done. It's like, it's crazy.
Before Mother's Day, we're looking pretty good and not too humid, right? In the high 70s, but not too humid.
Yeah, actually, very temperate, I guess would be the air mass. So, but yeah, a very nice morning, and again, humidity's pretty in the normal range. I tell you what, though, one thing that has noticed last Saturday, it was like a flip of a switch. The gnats came back.
Yeah.
Friday, I was working. I didn't feel one thing, and then Saturday, all of a sudden, here they were. It was just so crazy how quickly that happened.
That flipped, from like you get to the mid-70s and then they can start hatching or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But that's one thing we've been talking about, whether you're going through softball and baseball practices early in the season, or you're out in the fields or mowing the yard or whatever, those evenings, you're getting pelted in the face by the gnats now.
It's just, and then for me, I mean, probably you too. They just like to tickle the head. It's terrible. It's terrible. And then you're constantly doing this. And
now, do you have a natural remedy for gnats, or do you go by and buy the Buggins from Farm and Home Supply or something like that?
I probably have to do the Buggins.
Okay.
So,
because we've had several different home remedies given up of, like, you put cinnamon and vanilla in a bowl of water, and that helps go through. Vinegar has been used by a lot of different people, and even you have a trap using honey and try to get them to a certain spot, and then that'll hopefully soak them up. But anything less evasive is sometimes good. I mean, although don't you just love that scent of citronella on your skin?
But if nothing else, I just break down and get the nuclear bomb and just go, it's just like boom. So.
But the good thing is it hasn't been hot enough for mosquitoes quite yet. Yes, gnats are very pesty, but
there are a few mosquitoes out there.
Yeah, and we heard of one of the first cases around in the Illinois area of West Nile, I do believe, and earlier in May. So that's what the difference is, I do believe, between gnats and mosquitoes, and first being just a pest, another one being you got to watch yourself with it.
Absolutely. So, but I do believe the gnats will produce welts if you're not careful, if you really chew on you. So, again, just long clothing and some bug repellent when you're working outside, and it's going to be a nice weekend to do that.
Exactly.
It really, and I think for those of you who need to get on a regular mowing basis, I think we're finally getting to that schedule now. So
finally, instead of mowing every other day with the rain, and
right,
trying to squeeze it in.
But you won't have to worry about squeezing it in. Yeah. So, and we'll probably work on some. I don't know. We'll do some flower planting. Dad and I just, the bachelors who live on the farm. We don't really need flowers around, so. But some of you out there might be in the gardening mood. But
and the greenery, and there's about 2 weeks left. So typically around Mother's Day, you'll have about a week and a half or 2 weeks after that before the garden centers close if you're looking to get those things at your local farm and home supply and looking to plant those flowers. But don't forget, we talked about citronella. We actually sell a citronella plant that you can use to repel mosquitoes. It's really interesting the way that works.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you don't have to spray it on yourself. Just put a plant there.
Right. And then I've heard there's something else that you're supposed to plant as well. Maybe it is a plant or something like that, but in natural remedies or
lemongrass has also been used.
That's what it is. Yeah. And then of course, what is it? Blue martins or purple martins?
Purple martins are
attracted to mosquitoes. So we do have a few of those houses up. So, but then again, you have to make sure you clean them out every now and then. So that's one we forget about to do. Sometimes we just let them go there. But nonetheless, it's
should be a nice weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So go out and enjoy it, everyone.
What have you been missing on Muddy River Gems? You won't believe your eyes. My crew and I have been bringing you stories for more than 20 years on PBS and now Muddy River News. And we're just getting started.
So this weather, along with you being celebrated for Mother's Day, should also be good for some garage sailing. And I know you're a thrifter. Are you a garage sailor?
I am.
Okay.
When I can get to them.
Well, if you look on Muddy River News, we have a whole section dedicated to them. We had multiple garage sales that were submitted this week. So you can get on there and go and just garage sale to your heart's content. So we hope everybody does that. And then when you're done garage sailing, what can you do on Mother's Day?
Well, coming up this weekend over Mother's Day, there's a laundry list of things to do to take your mother to. Of course, we have our friends from the patio putting on their famous Sunday brunch, along with those mimosas and the shambongs. I hear they're pretty good. Check out Club Muddy again. And then also, our friends at the Bridge are putting on an omelet bar, also with mimosas. I love the mimosa theme in Mother's Day, if you can't tell. When I went with my mom in downtown Hannibal to celebrate her for her birthday recently, we went and stumbled across a little shop. It was in downtown Hannibal called the Bluebird Antique Store. I was so excited about it because it was an old antique store and then it closed and reopened, and it's one of my favorite buildings. Great location. It's at 109 South 4th Street in Hannibal. And again, it's the Bluebird Antique Store. And just recently, I was there this weekend. I picked this little guy up. Oh, it's so cute. And
what is that?
This is a succulent inside of an antique pot.
Okay.
It is for myself. It's not for my mom. I'm not going to sit here and show what I'm getting my mother.
Happy Mother's Day to me. Happy Mother's Day to me.
Exactly, exactly. But go check them out. Take your mom there for a little day date. Again, they're open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5, and they will be open this Sunday at 12:30. So go ahead and take your mom there and check it out.
Not this weekend, but next weekend, we're going to be helping out our friends at Hy-Vee and also the people at Covered Bottoms with a diaper drive. Also, Refreshment Services Pepsi helping out. We're going to try to fill up a semi full of diapers, and Covered Bottoms Diaper Bank provides diapers to service agencies and organizations in West Central Illinois. They especially work with low-income and high-risk families. And again, our friends at Refreshment Services Pepsi and Hy-Vee are helping us out, and a bunch of us are going to be there, and we will take your diapers and we will throw them into the back of the semi, and hopefully we can get that done.
Yes, hopefully we can fill it up.
And finally, one last announcement.
Next week, we are going to add a new show to Muddy River TV, another new show. We're working out the kinks with this one, but it's called Minutes with the Mayor. Ashley Conrad sits down with our new mayor, Linda Moore, and talks about things amongst the city and making sure that she's keeping everything transparent.
And again, we'll be running those on Tuesday afternoons. We're going to record those right around noon on Tuesday, and then we'll kick those out in the afternoon, so it'll be fresh and give you a little perspective on the city council meeting. So we're looking forward to doing that as well. Well, that's going to do it. Brittany is going to start drinking her mimosas now. Will you drink more mimosas, or will Steve eat more track burgers?
I think Steve's got me on that number.
Oh, I don't know about that. So anyway, all you moms out there, have a great Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
We'll see you next week.